about you? Hi. Good, how are you? Homer. Lovely to see you. Good. Good. How about you?
We're good.
Good. Good. Been up with your family. All the escapades. There's always stuff going on.
Hey,
It's like
Homer.
it's come together.
Yeah, I hope so.
Good to see you.
Focus, focus. Yep.
Good. Good to see you. Hi, Dan. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Good. Hi. I'm Judy. This is Troy's wife. Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Welcome everyone and thank you for coming. We are gathered here as family and friends to celebrate the life and the resurrection of Dona Ruth White. My name is John Chase. I'm the pastor here at First Presbyterian Church, where Dona worshiped for many, many years. And as I look around this room, I see so many faces who had so much time worshiping with Dona right here in this space. Carol and Eric and Gil and Doreen and Sandy and Donna and so many others who had the privilege of worshiping with one of the great saints of this congregation. And so it is my privilege to welcome you also on behalf of this First Presbyterian Church. On behalf of those who loved Dona for so many years. We say in our congregation that when when you're part of this church, you belong to God, and you belong to us, and we belong to you. It's one of the things we say. And so Donna, whether she is with us here today or in heaven with God, she is still part of us, and we are still part of her in Christ. We come from a lot of different places. Those of us in this room, geographically, some of you have traveled far to be here. We come from, I'm sure, different spiritual places. And we come today feeling a lot of different emotions. Sadness at the loss of Donna because she's no longer with us. Joy, also, as we celebrate her life and we share good memories of her. And even perhaps guilt or frustration over those things that were said, or the things that were left unsaid, or the things that were done or left undone. We might cry today, but we also might laugh and smile from these good memories that we have of Donna. Whatever you are feeling today, I invite you to feel those emotions right here in this place. Don't be afraid to laugh. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to hurt or celebrate, because this is the right time. This is the right place to feel all of these emotions together in God's holy presence. Today we've got some prayers and some scriptures and stories and some music. But here's what I will say about our time together. Let this be whatever it needs to be for you. Whatever God would have it be for you today. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Reverend Tim Boyer. I only knew Donna for a very short time. She moved south pretty quick after I arrived in Petaluma. But as I mentioned, Donna was here a long time before I got here. And when Donna was here, there was a young minister named Tim Boyer who was ministering in this congregation, who had much more time to worship and to get to know Donna. Tim is currently the minister at the First Presbyterian Church in Mountain View. And so, Tim, we're just so grateful that you're able to be here today and officiate our service as we continue to celebrate and also grieve the absence of this great saint of this church and so many others. So, Tim, welcome.
Thank you. I just want to say that you guys, all of you haven't aged a bit. Whenever I think of Donna, and when Don called me a few weeks ago, Laura and I were in Alaska on vacation, and Don said, "Hey, Don, I'd like you to come back and do the service." It took about 3 seconds for me to say yes. My wife sends her best. She's off on vacation. I'm going to be leaving on vacation after the service today. I'll be around though. But as I think of Don, I can't help but think of 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient. Love is kind. It's not arrogant or rude. Love believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Friends, love never fails. And that's Donna. Donna loved you, loved his community, loved her mission in life. She was loyal, she was compassionate, she was a dear, dear friend of all of us. So let's celebrate that today. Let's celebrate. For Jesus says, "I am the resurrection and the life. She who believes in me and dies will live. And nothing will separate us from Donna's spirit, her love, how she touched our lives. It will live on forever and ever."
children of the Lord, he would keep us in faith, very many dignities to our free, and I feel the same spirit that I felt time before. Surely I can say that I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on His face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. There's a hope.
Let's join together in our unison prayer this afternoon. Let's pray together. Almighty God, your love is stronger than death. Be with us now as we hear your promises. Help us to believe them. Open us to receive the comfort and strength that you offer us. You are the giver of hope. You can turn the shadow of death into daybreak. As you have opened the heavens to embrace dawn, open our hearts and grant us your peace, which passes understanding. In Christ Jesus we pray. Amen.
Psalms 91. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say, Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up with their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against the stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra, and you will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation.
I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of His voice is so sweet that birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing. And He walks as we tarry there, Mother has ever known, and the joy we share as we tarry there, Mother has ever known.
Asked to read a letter, read a writing ode to our Mamo, and friends, listen to this writing that was written by Christina. Sit back and open your hearts to these words. First of all, I want to start off by saying I won't be referring to Donna by her name. To me, my two sisters and our cousins, she was Mamo, our Mamo, my Mamo. Calling her by anything else doesn't seem right in this moment. And boy, was she proud to be our Mama. My sisters, Caitlin, Alex, and I were the lucky ones. We grew up with Mamo down the street. She was our after-school guardian, our third parent, the best storyteller of them all. We grew up in her living room and kitchen, watching old movies with Frank Sinatra and Shirley Temple, climbing her epic front yard tree, eating Meyer lemons, cheering on the Giants, and learning how to bake. In high school, Alex would show up to her house unannounced during her free school period, and Mamo would make her lunch, no questions asked. Mamo would send us all cookies to our summer camp, away at college, or to the rest of us just because she wanted us to feel loved, always. Every Wednesday night of our childhood was spent at her house. Our mom would work late, and our dad didn't know how to cook. These nights are where we learn the finer arts of civil debate. Dad at one end, Mamo at the other, Caitlin, Alex, and I in the middle. It was like a friendly game of tennis between two of them, and us kids were just the audience. Mamo was forever curious about the world and always had a thirst for knowledge and understanding. A few years back, she was still living in Petaluma. She took a world religion class. She loved calling me to discuss her papers and homework and to share what she was learning. She loved this country. The perseverance of democracy was very important to her. She didn't always agree on everything. We didn't always agree on everything, but she never judged and would always listen. We watched her invoke and become more and more open-minded. In 2016, she encouraged us to hit the streets and march for equality and democracy. She was proud that we stood up for what we believed was right and just. At my wedding last June, she told all of us grandchildren it was up to our generation to stand up for the rights and to uphold her great country's beliefs. It's no secret, I struggled as a teenager. I was bullied at school and felt misunderstood and unheard. A lack of confidence and self-worth led me to believe I was unlovable. There were times where she was the only one who heard me and made me feel loved. And she was able to help me see when I was in wrong. Through it all, she loved us unconditionally, and we never doubted it a second. In speaking for everyone in the family, when I say that when any of us had a bad day or felt anything negative in our lives, we would call Mama, just because it simply made us feel better. That's the thing about her love for all of us. And regardless of how often we saw her, it was always unconditional. She was so proud of us all, and I knew she thought we were the greatest gift God had ever given her. Mamo talked to me a lot in the last few months about dying. She was looking forward to being reunited with her parents and with Ray, and saw it as a reward after a blessed life, lived being the most faithful, kind, generous, loving, funny, intelligent, and fantastic baker we knew. She wasn't afraid of where she was going, but she was worried about the rest of us. The only thing she feared was she was leaving behind. She was ready to meet God and told the doctors she was determined to make it to Chelsea and Caitlin's weddings before she started her own journey. She knew she knows the pain we are feeling today would be unavoidable, and we know she would take it away if she could. As much as I miss her, as much as it hurts today, all day, I wouldn't change anything. The sadness and the pain is a testament to her love for all of us. I now want to speak directly to my cousins, aunts, and uncles. Mamo's other fear was that we would never all get together again. Weddings and funerals can't be the only time we see each other. Her wish and mine is that we still take family trips to Sun River, the beach, camping, and spending holidays together. Life is crazy and will always get in the way, but let's find ways to honor Mamo and still reunite, where we all can fight over the middle piece of the coffee cake and enjoy what she was most proud of, her family. I love you all, and especially our Mama. Christina, cousins, everyone.
Mama still, and I kept in touch. Surprisingly enough, even into her late 80s, she was still sending me selfie pictures, and I would send them back, and she was always in love with my red hair. When I was back home, always watching the Warrior games, Giants games together. Always remember Christmas mornings. We're gonna miss her. Love you.
We loved our Mamo very much. She taught us to always be curious and to never stop asking questions.
And she also taught us that Willie Mays was the greatest player that has ever lived.
Mamo's house was one of my favorite places to go when I was younger. I remember climbing around the tree in her front yard, watching Star Wars for the first time in her living room, and staying up super late playing games on her computer because she would always let us. I had a sense of love and togetherness from being there, whether we were there for the holidays or just visiting. I think Mamo promoted those types of feelings wherever she was because of her warm and caring personality. And that's how I'll always remember her.
I loved going to tea parties with you, and I loved eating your coffee cake. I love you, Mama.
One thing that always sticks out in my mind when I think about Mama is just how much she loved her family and was so proud to be the matriarch of this big family. I remember when I would visit her at Merrill Gardens and bring my 3 little girls with me, she would stop every single person in the hall just to introduce us to them. And every time she would walk away, she would say, "See, I have my chest puffed out. I'm so proud of her." It was always so important to her to have a special relationship with each one of us. She was so proud of us and always made us feel very special. We love you, Mama.
I love you, Mom. I miss playing with you and laughing with you. I love you, Mama.
It's been hard for me to think of just one memory from my time with Mamo that really sticks out. She was such a big part of my life growing up that there's just so many. As most of you know, Sean and I got married at the beginning of this month, and I really felt like she was there with us. Surrounded by all of our family and friends, I know that she would have just had the most amazing time at the wedding. leading up to that day, she and I had talked a lot on the phone, and she kept telling me how excited she was for it. I'm really sad that she wasn't able to be there physically, but I know that she was there in spirit. I'm so thankful to have had her in my life. She's such an amazing and caring woman, and has really taught me to be thankful and appreciate my family and my friends and everyone who's so supportive of me in my life.
One thing that I will miss doing with Mamo is making shortbread with her, because it was always really fun, and I will always love her even if she's on the moon.
Being Mama's first grandchild, she and I had a very special, unique bond. There are so many things that I'm going to miss about her, but the things that stand out the most are the conversations that she and I have had over the years. I could go to her about anything, and she and I had some wonderful, wonderful talks throughout the years. I also really enjoyed watching her with Sari. She and Sari loved baking and giggling and chatting, and that was just such a great experience for me to get to observe. As a child, I always enjoyed Mamo, spending the night at her house, and as we would go to sleep, she would tuck my hair behind my ears, and that is a sweet gesture that I have passed on to my daughter as well. I love you, Mamo.
Fighting about who she was going to work for. Dennis graciously allowed me to hire Dona. She worked for me from after the 80 campaign to sometime in the mid-90s. Dona retired 3 times from my practice. A couple of the memories. My wife, Billy, and I started dating in 1980. Dona approved of Billy. Told me I ought to marry her. I informed her that I already asked. The other thing that stand out in my mind was what she believed in, she believed in. There were times in the office where everybody knew I was in trouble, because she would walk down the hall, come into my office, slam the door, and tell me what I did wrong. Over the years, we got really close with Dona. One of the things Billy and I are missing and will miss, I think for the last 35 years, maybe even longer, Dona would provide us with our Christmas holiday gift of applesauce and shortbread. And she knew that my family loved applesauce for our Hanukkah party. And we had an annual party, so she made sure we got the Hanukkah and the shortbread annually when she couldn't come back. Judy, thank you very much for being the person who would deliver it to us.
Thank you very much for sharing. Dona was someone who served in the community. And Dona probably had one message for us today. You know, she loved, you said, democracy and politics and things. We had talked about this in our discussions. There's one word that she'd want all of us to remember when we leave today, and that's right, vote. It's not where you are political on the spectrum, but vote. That was Dona. She served in the homeless capacity, the soup kitchen here in the community, cots. She was always reaching out. She felt that was a mission for her life, to love one another. Anyone else? If you'd like to continue to share, please. We're going to have the reception in a few minutes. We'd love to have you come and be a part of that. The tide of time may wash her footprints from our shore, but nothing will ever separate us from Dona's love, her hope, her kindness, her gentleness. So let's remember that as we continue to celebrate her life.
with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Friends, would you please join me in sharing together the Lord's Prayer? Let's pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
This is pretty awesome. And you were right. Tears and laughter. We're almost finished. As Pastor Tim had mentioned, that we have refreshments and treats in Trinity Hall.
All of those favorite baked goods.
I'll go ahead and finish that.
Oh, sorry.
So, now you speak. So, everything that's over there that's baked is from my mom's recipe. Snickerdoodles, sugar jumbles, chocolate chip cookies, shortbread, shorties, coffee cake. No applesauce. Not in season. So please join us over there. On behalf of my siblings, Wanda, Jenny, Dale, and myself, and our spouses, Shelley, Peter, Judy, my late brother-in-law Chuck, their children, my mom's grandchildren, Carrie, Megan, Chris, Chelsea, Tucker, Luke, Aaron, Christina, Caitlin, and Alex. And their spouses, Matt, Erica, and the newest member, Sean. And in October, we'll have, I'll have a son-in-law, Michael, my second son-in-law. And the great-grandchildren, Sari, Colby, Savannah, Juliet, Eve, Elle, and two great step-grandchildren in Gavin and Kaya. My Uncle Ray, my mom's brother, his wife Joanne, his family, my cousin Hazel here, her family. I'm not saying all this to impress you that I can remember that. But I did that for a purpose. It was to show you the umbrella of the family of which my mom was the matriarch, and she was a matriarch in every sense of the word. She was a counselor, an advisor. She was a great listener. She was a suggester, sometimes a very strong suggester, a caregiver, a volunteer. Those are the things that she was. The titles that she wore were the most important to her. Daughter, sister, aunt, wife, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. And she is, that whole that she has left behind is gaping. It's the size of the Grand Canyon. But you don't get to have that without having those attributes. I also want to personally thank Pastor Tim and Pastor Doug, wherever Doug is. Where are you, Doug? There you go. So I got to tell you a quick story with Doug. My mom passes away on June 20, Thursday. Somehow the word gets to Doug on Friday, and he says, really sorry for your loss. If there's anything you can do, and this is just Friday afternoon, if there's anything you can do, please let me know. All of us say that usually, you don't really think somebody's going to take you up on it. Well, I took Doug up on it. I said, is there any chance you could do the gravesite service, because Pastor Tim was on his 40th anniversary cruise up in Alaska. Any chance you could do the gravesite service in about 15 hours? He dropped everything he was doing and did it, and we will forever be grateful. Pastor Tim was supposed to be in Lake Tahoe, a family reunion, and he delayed it. And like he said, it took him no time at all to say, I will be there for Dona. So, huge thank you for both of you. I was handed the responsibility of the executor of her estate and had the funeral folder handed to me. And basically everything that you've seen here was her wishes. Even though Aaron and Megan didn't want to read the entire Isaiah 53 and Psalm 91, but that's what my mom wanted. So we, on multiple occasions, had conversations about her memorial service. And it was never one of those, Donald James, come over here, sit down, I need to have a serious talk with you. It was always lighthearted. She would tell me why she loved Surely the Presence of the Lord is in this place, why she loved it. And by the way, David, thank you. Great song. Or we talk about a particular Bible verse. So somehow the last time we had a conversation, the subject of how many people would be at a memorial service. I can't remember the context of how it came up. And she goes, and I go, so how many people are you going to have? How many do you think you have? And she goes, not very many. I'll have a family. But outside of that, and I said, why? She said, well, one thing is when you get to be 90, a lot of people who come, they've already died. I said, that's a good point. Anything else? She goes, yeah. You know, I wasn't one of those people who really touched people, made an impact. BS. Or in church, I'll keep it clean. This is all you need to know. That she did touch people's lives. And we are so grateful that you're here today to honor my mom. So, when she got diagnosed with lung cancer, this is after beating pneumonia and the flu 2 years ago, beating colon cancer a year ago, and then she got colon cancer a few months ago. It's like, one of her doctors sat with her and said, so Donna, you have any goals for where you want to live out your life? And she thought about it. She said, yeah, I'd like to go to my granddaughter Chelsea's wedding in July. Check. I'd like to go to another granddaughter, Caitlin, who's getting married in October. Check. And I'd like to live as comfortably as possible. Check. Because I think we can accomplish all three of those. Well, the last goal, they were able to accomplish with my great sister's help, who provided so much care for my mom the last 5 years. My mom died incredibly peaceful, surrounded by 15 or 16 family and friends, and it was just the most unique experience I've ever witnessed. It was very beautiful, and she just slipped the bounds of this earth and into God's arms. Unfortunately, the other two goals were not accomplished. God had other plans. So we're going to play last year at Christina's wedding, David was hired as a videographer. And when I say hired, we paid him in beer. And he didn't object. And he went around after the wedding, he went around and he was interviewing people. And one of the people he interviewed was my mom. And we're going to see that video in just a second. It's a very, very short video. It's about 12 seconds long. And so while all of you can enjoy this video is for where it is Chelsea and Caitlin. This is, I know she uses the word Christina and Matt, but please just close your eyes and imagine, or you can keep your eyes open to see the video, but imagine it's Mama's wish for you, because she wanted to be there in the worst way, and it couldn't, because she'll be there in spirit.
Hi Christina, I've known you since you were born. I've loved you through all the stages of your life, and I love your life partner, Matt. May God bless you and your marriage. Awesome. That's what I wanted to say, may God bless you.
Yeah. What glorious words, what beautiful words. Friends, open your hearts. Listen to these words as we close our time together. For the benediction, I'm going to read a passage called The Legacy. When I die, give what is left of me to children. If you need to cry, cry with your brothers and sisters walking beside you in life. Put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me and the people I have known and loved. And if you cannot live without me, then let me live in your eyes, in your mind, and in your acts of kindness. You can love me by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love does not die. People do. And when all that is left of me is love, please give me away. Amen.